We'd rather sell it than move it in. The moving in sale is on now at the new Lloydminster Nissan. As we get ready to move into our beautiful new building on Highway 17 South, we're moving out our incredible inventory from the big blue building on Highway 16 West. Save today on our incredible lineup of new and pre-owned vehicles all under the roof. Get special clear-out pricing on all remaining 2023 models. We're getting ready to move in, so come out and see us today for fantastic savings on your new car, truck, or SUV. The moving in sale is on now at the new Lloydminster Nissan. We won't sell you a car, we'll help you buy one.
At Lloydminster and District Co-op, membership matters more. Because being part of a co-op means you're connected to something bigger than yourself. From long-held legacy by those who built our communities, to people you call family, friends, and neighbors. When you're a Lloyd Co-op member, you're an owner in a local business that prides itself on purpose alongside profit. You earn cash back, you help support causes that matter most, and you're building a better way of life for the next generation. Membership matters more.
Local people. Local news and events. Local sports. Local matters. For all things Lloydminster and area, this is Live with Kurt Price.
Hey, welcome to Canadian Brewhouse on a Taco Bout Tuesday. Tacos here tonight, $3.49, and they are absolutely fantastic. Now that's kind of secondary to what's happening here at the Canadian Brewhouse because the AJHL playoffs are on, and we know the Edmonton Oilers are always popular here in Lloydminster. That game, they finally set a time, 8 o'clock tomorrow night, so it'll be a 5:30 Vegas and Dallas game, and then it'll be the Oilers here tomorrow night, which of course is Wing Wednesday tomorrow night as well. As for tonight, you got the anthems going in Toronto right now. You can watch the game right here at the Canadian Brewhouse. It might be the Maple Leafs' last game of the year. Well, at the new Lloydminster Nissan, we remind you that the moving in sale continues, and you can get into a brand new 2023 Rogue or 2023 Qashqai at up to $2,000 below cost. And I know there was some snow last night in parts of Alberta, but it is the time to switch over those winter tires to summer tires. You can do that at the new Lloydminster Nissan, and when you do that, you get a $25 oil change. Nigel Dube is here today, and we're going to talk to him about Flavour Festival, and we're going to look back on the 2023 season that was just wild and got extremely wild after January. Dustin Fallscheer is a coach with the Kings Red Dogs Football Club. He's here tonight. Also joining Dustin will be Marcus Lam-Peters. He's bringing in some former CFL guys and hosting the Notorious Youth Football Camp on May 25th. So we'll get the details on that. And this weekend already, and it looks like it's going to be a nice weekend, we will have the Bordertown High School Rodeo kick off the Saskatchewan High School Rodeo Association season, and that's happening at the Lloydminster Exhibition. We'll get the details on that. Also tonight here at the Canadian Brewhouse, the Colorado Avalanche can eliminate the Winnipeg Jets in just 5 games. Didn't see that one coming. Maybe saw it coming, but in 5. Carolina Hurricanes will try to eliminate the New York Islanders tonight. That's also a series that's at 3-1. And Vancouver can eliminate Nashville tonight. That's the late game. It starts at 8 o'clock. And forgotten in all of this, of course, is the Blue Jays have a 3-game win streak. And they will play Kansas City tonight for the 6th time in 9 days. And I tell you, if you want to watch a frustrating team, watch the Blue Jays. There is not a more frustrating team. Also tonight, the CFL draft starts at 6 o'clock. The Eskimos have the 1st overall pick. The Rough Riders will draft 3rd overall. And a couple of notes when it comes to local sports. First off, we want to send our condolences to the Mitswing family on the loss of a CPCA and a Chuckwagon legend, Ray Mitswing, last Thursday. That is a death that has shocked the Chuckwagon world and has shocked everybody because Ray's influence went not only on the track but off the track with a lot of friendships and mentoring youth around the Loon Lake area as well. So the funeral for Ray Mitzwing is going to take place on Thursday. That goes at 11 a.m. at the Jason Morningchild Arena in Loon Lake. Both golf courses are open here in Lloyd. Of course, we got the rain here last night. Not as much as the farmers are loving it, but we're absolutely loving it, and I'm sure the golf courses as well. Lloyd Golf and Curling Center, the golf course is now open, and it has been open at Rolling Green Fairways for some time now. In fact, they opened last week, and tomorrow night they have their first ladies' night. And when it comes to the Saskatchewan Summer Games, well, they are still in need of around 700 volunteers at the least. And Jason Whiting, Wendy Plandowski joined us and said there's something for everybody to volunteer for, even if you're not going to be here.
We want people to get in there, get registered, and I think what Jason and I were kind of talking about is realizing that there's a role for everybody when it comes to these games. It doesn't matter if you might be away the week of the games. We need help now. We can encourage people to come in and get involved, and there's so many different ways to get involved, and I think that's what excites me about a multi-sport games. You know, if you're somebody that likes computers, we have a spot for you. You don't have to be, you know, an avid sports enthusiast necessarily. If you like culture, we have a spot for you. If you like working with people, there's something for everybody.
Once again, it's Talk About Tuesday here at the Canadian Brewhouse with cheap tacos and what should be a pretty good hockey game tonight in Boston, although there's no Austin Matthews for the Maple Leafs tonight. Let's talk some hockey, but let's talk some local hockey. And while we're at the Canadian Brewhouse, we can talk food as well. Nigel Dube is the general manager and president of the Lloydminster Bobcats. Nigel, thanks for taking some time for us.
Thanks for having me, Kurt.
Well, let's start with a look back on 2023. Have you ever been through a more frustrating season? Not necessarily that it was on the ice. Bobcats did pretty good on the ice, but talk about throwing a wrench into things. But you ended up with 2 less home games, if I'm not mistaken, than anybody else.
Yeah, it was really similar actually to kind of what we went through in the pandemic. It was one of those where it was like, I don't know if you want to call it deja vu all over again, where you don't really know what tomorrow looks like, and you live in the now, and obviously some changes throughout the year, and it's one of those that an expansion team announced last week by the league, and they continue to happen moving forward to a great year coming up. But it was something unlike any other that I've been a part of, or probably anybody's been part of in junior hockey, and we move forward from there.
So they're going to go into Devon. It's a possibility we could see some more teams, isn't it?
Yeah, I think as the league's article stated, in the future, I think for now with Devon there, it gets up to the 12 teams again, and an even number, and I think a lot of conversation throughout the staffs of different things of how we can really evolve our game and make sure the Alberta Junior Hockey League stays at the top of its game. And move forward. I think that's a big part. So been a lot of meetings, seems like kind of weekly of going on that way, and still we got to recruit for next year and get everything in place, but we want to make sure that the league's in great shape, which it is, and credit to our commissioner and the whole VPs of the league and all the work they've done. I think it's one of those, sometimes a job that everybody wants until you have it, but they've done a great job there and continue to move forward with, busy days and making sure that, it's one of the best years that we can have in the 61st year of the AJHL come fall.
You finished second overall, but did that turn out to be, like you think that would be a blessing, but then you waited to play more hockey games. What'd you have off, 15 days or something?
Yeah, we had, I think it was 13 in between.
Okay. That layoff, like a layoff in hockey is never, that's never what you want, is it?
Well, it's tough because you go, you're 8-1 in February, right? And then you move in and we beat Whitecourt, who was the first place team right at the end of the regular season there, and you look at it two ways: opportunity to get some guys back healthy, opportunity to get some guys rest that played some big and heavy minutes down the stretch, and then obviously you got to try to find ways to stay fresh and move into the first round after the play-in by the other teams, and it's one of those that it's just happens the way it does. But it's Calgary right now. They probably learned something from there. 2 weeks off. They're going to represent our league at the at the national tournament out east, and they'll have close to 3 weeks off leading into that now. So, which I'm sure they're prepared the best that they can be and ready to go. As other series, the SJ is still going on tonight, right?
Yeah.
So it's one of those that you just have to adapt, prepare, and be ready to go when you're called upon.
You guys made a coaching change. Tell us about why you decided to make a coaching change.
Yeah, we're super excited about Jeff. I think, Jeff joined us in December, right after Christmas break of 2022, and he's, I worked with him on the bench that year, but also I came back to the AJ in, 2015 or 16, and had the opportunity to coach against Jeff for a lot of years before that, and you always see him at the rink and get to know him, and then he joined our program after Christmas break, and I thought, he took over that second half. I let him go with it. Here you go, right? And we've seen big improvements. I think we went 11-4 down the stretch in the February, and then took Bonnyville to Game 6, and just his energy that he brings to the rink every day, and one of those. And then this year, watching him work with our players, and again, the energy that he has, and the development. There's not a whole lot of trading going on anymore in junior hockey. I think you look at it in the NHL too, there's very little. So you really need to evolve the players within your group and make them better. And we changed some things last year with some more development and getting more out of our players, and to have the opportunity to have a coach that's played at the highest level. He's been there. He's won there. Memorial Cup championship, World Juniors champion. His resume is big. He knows our league. He knows our community. I think a big part too is you just see him. I had a meeting right before I came here, and one of our sponsors was just absolutely pumped up that Jeff's at the helm, and he's waiting for it. So we're excited to see what Jeff can do with the team, and our players are excited. Coming from the previous meeting, there's a lot of excitement about that, and a lot of positive messages after that. So I think Jeff's just ready to be at the helm of it, and move forward with our program.
I think there's a lot of people thought last year that Jeff would be announced as the head coach. It was kind of a surprise that he wasn't. Did you have that in mind when you let Brad go?
Well, there's a bit of going through what we needed to go through, and and just I think you look at the success that Jeff's had back to Sherwood Park, right? And prior to the pandemic, they had set 2 years in a row. Franchise records of winning and players moving on, and there's times where he can get more out of players systematically. I think rotates a little bit more in all three zones, and a lot of it's on the skating, and our head scout Andrew Gilbert does a great job of identifying. I thought we had probably our fastest team that we've had here, and just getting more out of it. But I think for Jeff's ready for it and excited for it, and we're excited to have him take over.
1-0 for the Leafs. Well, I think Mitch Marner might have scored. Locally, are you looking for a local guy to be his assistant? Would that be fair to say? Well, will a local guy be priority?
We've opened it up. There's no doubt, and the part of it right now is we're not in a hurry. It's earlier. We're into the spring here, and have some time to go through. Obviously, teams are still playing, right, and things are still happening there. So, we're a local team. There's no doubt about it. You look at us. We've carried anywhere between 5 and 8 local players a year. And local's huge for us. We're based on the community, and our community support's huge. I think in the last 3 years, every year our attendance is growing, and the community connection. We're about being out in the community and doing everything we can in the community, whether that's being in the schools, minor hockey practices, running crosswalks to start the year off, whatever it may be. Everything we do is to thrive to make the community of Lloydminster proud, and it also teaches our players so many life skills that you don't learn on the ice. Everybody could be a hockey player on the ice and do all that, but the ability to have the life skills off the ice and be involved in the community is crucial for our program, and it's what we built our program on. And it's exciting, no different when we watch the guys on the TV, and you're going to the games, and we've sold out of replica jerseys the last 3 years in a row. And we, you look at that, and it's based on the community connection again. When we have over 300 youth out to our skate with the Bobcats after the one game. We played the Rustlers in the one Monday when the World the junior hockey was all getting shuffled around.
Yep.
We had the scrimmage with the Rustlers on the Monday afternoon, and just shy of 300 there for a fun hockey between the Rustlers and the Bobcats. So we'll look local, there's no doubt, but we'll also take the time, and Jeff's gonna have a lot of say in who works with them, and we're looking forward to that. Make sure it's a right fit, and look at all options. Maybe it's Jeff and a skill guy and another guy, or another coach. We'll take all looks at what we can do, and the good part is that we're still in April here. Get things sorted out and be ready to rock and roll in August.
You guys finished second in the AJHL this year. Why did you feel you needed to make that coaching change?
Yeah, I think for us, it's just a matter when you look at the day-to-day of what you have and what you can get, and I think go back to what Jeff's capable of doing, and just with the play on the ice and how we do that, and then making sure that we're a community team. But we'll continue to move forward. We like our recruits that we have coming in. A good selection of them coming in. We'll have camp again in June. And build on what the success was of the year, and look to take it to another level next year.
Will there be much of a turnover? We have a lot of 19-year-olds back.
What's interesting is you go down, and hockey as a whole now, we're seeing it whether it's on the TV right now, or I was just down on a recruiting trip in the States, and you talk to some of the NCAA schools, and there's the transfer portal now, right? And a player can go from multiple colleges in 3 years, can play for 3 different programs. And so when people, always the number one question asked is, how many guys can come back? How many players can come back? And you structure it, you look at it, there's many more things that go into the roster than just the makeup, right? And there's age restrictions, there's players that, the potential from year 1 to year 2, like a player like Teague McAllister, a local player, we look at him having a huge breakout year for us next year. You look at Alessio Nardelli, who figured out junior hockey in the first half, and then was at the top offensive guy moving forward in the second half, and all those things happen. We have a good strong base that can come back. We want to build on that. I think there's some age positions that there's going to be some heavy competitiveness moving into the fall, because at the end of the day, some leagues you can carry 20-year-olds. In the Alberta Junior Hockey League right now, you can only carry 6, and that's a big part. And there's imports that go into it. Our camp in April, we had players up from Pittsburgh, from all different provinces, and it makes things really competitive. We've had the same model in that going into August the last 3 years, and it's a big part. It puts a lot of stress on our head scout, Andrew Gilbert, but he likes that, and he does a heck of a job at it. He's been here since day one, a guy that probably doesn't get enough credit behind the scenes. He's, since day one in November 2018, Andrew moved over. He's been there, and, goaltending really grew last year again with a rookie. A lot of credit to Sheldon Gertzen, our goalie coach. He's done a heck of a job with our goalies, nominated for Rookie of the Year. We had Goalie of the Year, D1 commit, so a lot of things go into that, but we're excited about what we can return. We're excited about the competitiveness going in, and our leadership. Having our leadership established here in the spring, I think, is a big part, which will be more on that coming up in the future, but guys are excited to build around that, and excited, and chatting with the players, they're excited about Jeff too as well, which is huge.
You mentioned off the ice, one of the biggest events of the year is turning out to be Flavour Festival. Did you guys think it would be as popular as it has become? It's the 3rd year now, right?
Second year.
It's only
a second year, yeah.
Well, last year was sold out.
Yeah, so last year was a lot of trying to explain what Flavour Festival was, comparing it to all the different, the local ones in different communities, what they do there, and then moving into the second year, way more vendors. We've moved the actual event over to the Civic Center on the arena floor because we learned really quick last year that we outgrew where we were, which is exciting. And to change up the theme a little bit, but a place like the Brewhouse here that if you've never been here and you come to Flavour Festival, you can sample their food and drinks. And our furthest vendor on the drink side is coming from Weyburn. And then we have multiple up in the Prince Albert, east of Saskatoon, and then our local ones too. And some of the local restaurants last year that people maybe never heard about, were really busy after the event, which is huge for them. Again, you talk about the community connection of what it is, right? And somebody comes and tries it out, and next thing you know, they got people coming to eat lunch there once, twice a week, and that's what it's about.
Do you have more tickets available this year because it's a bigger surface?
Yeah, so tickets, I think last year that was a little bit of the confusion part of it. People thought you have to have a ticket before the event, where you can get the ticket right at the door too. So from 6 till 10, it rotates through. Last year, our last ticket was sold like 11 minutes before we closed. So you can buy them right now. They're on Eventbrite, early bird pricing there. Skip the line at the door. You'll enter right at the Civic Center arena floor. That'll be where the entrance is. Walk in there, and then we're 35 vendors this year. So we're up big time there. And tickets on Eventbrite or at the door. And VIP hours 5 till 6. And then 6 till 10 is general admission. We have local talent too, music going on the whole time, and some yard games and everything. Great outing. Who's your local entertainment? We have Courtney Stang and Friends, Amanda Koopa, Kenny Mack. So there's some of the local ones, and then a band at the end of the night too as well. VIP, you touched on the VIP. Is it just you get in a little bit earlier, which by the way goes a long, long way to beating lines and stuff like that? So yeah, so last year, a lot of it we seen lineups depending on the night. I think too, it seemed a little bit longer just with the venue and tight quarters. But from 5 to 6, the ticket costs you more. But it does get you in. There's a limited of 60 people will be there at 5 till 6 p.m. So there's a chance you could pretty much try every vendor before the doors open to general admission. So there's a perk to that. We had that. We've seen that in different events, and then we sent out the feedback last year to people that attended it and took everything. There's picnic tables this year, so you can grab a seat on the picnic table. Last year, just with the space, there wasn't much room for seating, and it's a rotational crowd throughout the night. Some people come there for an hour, 2 hours, or be there all 4. So that is, we did listen to those different things and set up a little bit better flow of traffic this year, and exciting the vendors too. It's their second time for lots of them. Know what to expect, but we got also a lot of new ones that they just had the taste of hops or a top of hops in Saskatoon last weekend, and seeing what they did there. There's some fun ones coming to town that bring some excitement with them and some energy there too.
Do we say when it is? I don't know if we...
Saturday, May 4th. So yeah, at the Civic Center. And
there are VIPs left.
VIPs left, yep, you bet. And you can get those right online too. And it should be a great, for us, it's one of those, people come in, they taste things, they drink things, all that, and then part of our process too is, as volunteers pointed on, is that those vendors receive payment back for all their product. We all know that things cost a lot nowadays. We understand that and want to make sure that the vendors traveling from all over too are looked after. So Saturday at 5 p.m. VIP, 6 p.m. general admission at the Civic Center.
Majority would be local?
Yeah, majority are local. So a lot of good local restaurants. On the drink side and the liquor side of venues, those we'll see from some distances away. And some of the Smooth 42 was the top one last year, fan favorite. They're back again to defend that. But we've added some different ones. There's non-alcoholic drinks throughout too as well. We want to make sure there's some gluten-free options that'll be in there too as well. Those are things that people have been asking about the last couple of days that we want to make sure they know about.
Anything I'm forgetting to ask, Nigel, about Flavour Fest or
No, I think we're excited about Saturday, and I don't know if you want to do a giveaway, Kurt, somehow throughout the show. We'll give away a couple tickets too as well, and we're excited about it. A lot of local venues and opportunity to come out, sample them, and it should be a ton of fun.
Thanks, Nigel.
Perfect. Thank you, Kurt.
We'll take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk football, and that's coming up in just a moment.
I'm Brian Zinchuk of PipelineOnline.ca. I used to be a pipeliner, and I've spent the last 15 years reporting on energy in Saskatchewan. PipelineOnline.ca provides comprehensive coverage of light oil, heavy oil, lithium, helium, power production including coal, wind, solar, geothermal, natural gas, and nuclear. There's a lot happening in Saskatchewan's energy sector, and Pipeline Online is there for all of it. No one else comes even close.
It's more than just taxes at LNA CPA. Assurance, accounting, retirement planning, estate planning, business consulting, financial consulting, farm program support, and bookkeeping. But yes, there is always taxes. The team at LNA CPA is committed to helping you achieve your best results and will be there to assist you every step of the way. LNA CPA, with offices in Provost, Vermilion, and Lloydminster.
At Jason Arden Associates Cooperators, we're proud to be a top-rated local insurance company that offers flexible solutions and expert advice for all your insurance and investment needs. We'll work with you to tailor your insurance specific to your needs, and we offer investment advice that always puts you first. At Cooperators, one of our core values is to give back to the communities that we live in. Thanks to the support of our clients in Lloydminster and area, in 2023, Jason Arden Associates has donated $40,000 to local nonprofits, charities, students, athletes, and other special events. How does your insurance company support our community?
Welcome back to the Canadian Brewhouse, where the hockey game is on, the Leafs and the Bruins. Starting very shortly, we got Carolina and New York tonight, and then Winnipeg, Colorado will be on here, and the late game is Vancouver trying to eliminate Nashville. All four series are sitting at 3 games to 1. Of course, you can enjoy tacos here tonight for Taco Bout Tuesday, and tomorrow night, it, of course, is the Edmonton Oilers and the Los Angeles Kings, and start time for that one, 8 p.m., so it's another late start, probably puck drop around 8:20. Well, when you need help recovering from a disaster, call a local company called BioClean Disaster Services. For mold, for fire, for flood, for wind damage, you can call a local company that will not only work to restore your home and your business and take care of your property, but work to restore that family dynamic and get things back to where you were before the disaster as quickly and as efficiently as possible. BioClean Disaster Services will also keep the lines of communication open, which is huge. Talk to some of their past customers and they will tell you. Knowing where they're at in the restoration project is absolutely huge, and it takes a lot of stress off you as well. It's not an easy time by any means, so keeping the means of communication open is very, very important. They're committed, certified, reliable, and very local, serving Lloydminster, Wainwright, St. Paul, Bonnyville, and Cold Lake. BioClean Disaster Services, 1-833-246-8326. Dustin Fallscheer is here. He is one of the coaches with the Kings Red Dogs. And we also have Matthew Fallscheer here and Max Weigel. Did I say it right? Weigel. Joining us as well from Kings Red Dogs. So a couple players and a coach here tonight to talk a little football. And I imagine they're keeping their eye on the hockey scores as well tonight. But let's start with telling us about Kings Red Dogs football and how it combines both high schools.
Yeah, so it's Kings Red Dogs football falls under the Lloydminster Minor Football Association. So it's a spring league. It's community run, and so not only does it offer a chance for kids from both high schools to play, but also kids from the surrounding areas. So we have kids from Bonnyville, Macklin, different areas around. So it's a great opportunity for kids to play with kids that they maybe don't get to throughout the regular football season, and then just make some new friends and have some fun.
Is there a league you guys play in, or is it is there a cup? How does that work?
We do play in the Capital District Minor Football Association, so it's run out of Edmonton. So this year it's a 4-team league. So there's us, there's the Edmonton Seahawks, St. Albert Storm, and then Battle River Shock, which is run out of Camrose.
Tough loss in the first game. Maybe you want to start there. What happened in that one?
Just it's football. It's good football. I mean, so there's it's
spring
sports.
football too.
Spring football. So we have a lot of kids that are new to the program, a little bit younger. So it's some of their first reps. So it's a learning curve, and really that's what we treat this as, is the opportunity for kids just to get an opportunity to play, maybe play some positions that they don't play with their high school team, and just a little bit understanding of of football. So it's better. Each kid that leaves is going to be better when they return to their high school team in the fall.
How many kids did you have come out and try out?
This year there's right around 40. So
okay, yeah. How many? So everybody makes the team.
Everyone made the team. Yeah. Sometimes really what limits us is we're not going to cut a kid based on skill. So we practice 3 times a week, so we keep kids for practice. Sometimes the issue we run into is with busing, so we can only fit so many kids on the bus. So at some point, fortunately this year that's not an issue. Everyone gets to come, but depending on the year and the numbers, where you have to make a decision where we can only dress so many and take so many to games. So.
That clapping you hear is 1-1. Boston just scored, which is kind of surprising. You hear more of a clap when Boston scores in a Canadian city, but that's how much Eastern Canada's
the Leafs are regarded here.
Absolutely. You guys play one home game, and then the rest is on the road.
Yeah. That's part of playing in an Edmonton league, right?
Yeah.
If you want to play, you have to play by their rules. So, I mean, we seem to face that in every sport. Doesn't matter whether it's hockey, baseball. They have the most teams. They kind of dictate how it goes. So,
is Lloyd turning into a football town? Like I remember when Rod Kirby started the Red Dogs. What would it be, 10 years ago?
Yeah, maybe more. Yeah, maybe more than that. Yeah. It's definitely it is trending that way. It's a very popular sport right now. I know just with the Bantam team, looking at the Pee Wee numbers first, is they have registered for next year already with Lloyd Minor Football. They're through the roof. The Bantam teams are now going to go with the high schools. So there's Junior Raiders, Junior Barons. They both have strong numbers, and then the high schools both do well. So I'd say like the level, the skill level, and just the amount of, even you get guys moving to the community like Marcus you're going to be talking to next. The level of coaching, the level of play is just it's been ramping up and escalating every year. So you see how the Raiders and the Barons do at provincials every year, and how the minor football teams do, and we're very, very competitive. Yeah, so it's great to see.
Matthew, what position do you play?
Quarterback.
I kind of figured you were gonna. I think I've seen you guys at the Service Sports Center throwing the ball indoors there, and the old man can still throw the ball, eh?
Yeah.
What do you love about the spring? I know you love football. What is it about playing in the spring? Why do you want to have this extra kind of push?
I just feel like it's a great chance to meet a lot of new people, have some fun, play football all together, and
Is it weird to play with guys that you're usually playing against?
There's times it's weird, but I think we all come together well and all form a good team.
How about you, Max? Who do you? What position do you play?
I play receiver.
Okay, so you're catching this guy. Do you guys play together like in the fall too?
No. We play. Yeah, we play at different high schools.
Okay, so you play at Holy then, you played Comp and you played Holy. Yeah. Okay, so what do you love about Red Dogs football?
I just like that it's a little extra football, because like the high school season feels very short, so it's nice to just have this like extra couple months of playing, to prepare for the high school season and whatnot.
You guys use the vault?
We did start the season off in the vault. Yeah, we've been practicing since the end of January. So, we've played the vault. And like Max, they're playing on separate teams now in the fall. But these guys grew up together and played 5 years of football from when they started in Pee Wee through the Colts and Lloyd Minor Football, and then through the Junior Red Dogs. So they're not strangers to each other. But so it's nice for them to be able to come back and play together again.
You guys play with anybody now that you played against last year? You're like, I hate that guy. I hate playing against that guy.
Not really. I don't really have any enemies on the team or anything like that.
How about you?
No, not really.
No, not really? No. Okay, yeah. So season wraps up at like the end of May, right?
We got this week and next week. Yeah, so yeah, 2 more weeks only. Yeah.
2 more weeks is that's it?
Yeah. But then it's kids. These kids go from this, then spring camps to start with their high school team. So then they go from this right into another. So it's a good segue. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a place to watch the games? Like, do they have online?
No, they're not online. They're not live streamed. No.
Okay. Yeah. Anything I'm forgetting to ask with the Red Dogs?
No, I would. It's COVID kind of took a hit on things, just like everything. You know what I mean? So there were years there where the Red Dogs, there was a lot of kids that have up to 80 trying out. And then COVID came and it kind of dropped off a bit. But I'd recommend anyone from Lloydminster surrounding area to come out and give it a try next year if you're interested about football. It's a great way to hone some reps. And I know spring's always a busy time with baseball, track and field, a lot of sports, but it's a fairly short season, condensed, but it's a great opportunity to meet some kids, some new coaches. We've got a handful of young coaches, Schmidt twins, Gibby from the comp that are here that are coaching, and then also Riley Fisk and a couple of young guys from Holy Roses. So it's a great opportunity not only for the players to learn, but for the next group of coaches to come up and learn. So I highly recommend anyone get out, get involved with it. It's a great program.
Really appreciate your guys' time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are you guys going to Marcus's camp?
No, we're playing ball, so we're not. Yeah, but and that's another one. He'll get up here and talk, but it's a great man, a great coach, and it'll be a great camp here. So I might, if my weekend's free, I might help him out with it on the coaching side of things. But yeah, it'll be a good deal.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Marcus Lam-Peters is going to talk about the Notorious Youth Football camp in just a moment.
How can you help support the oil and gas industry and jobs in Western Canada? The answer is closer than you think. Sell your scrap metals to PWM Steel. PWM sells scrap iron to Evraz, located in Regina. Evraz's #1 customer is the energy sector, building pipes and plates for the oil and gas industry. PWM Steel is your locally owned metal recycler and steel service center in the area. Plus, they're a strong supporter of the community. PWM Steel, your top steel supplier for Alberta and Saskatchewan for 40 years.
At Diamond 7 Meats, we work with local farm families to provide a high-quality product and a great selection for you. Try our mouth-watering smokies, pulled pork, roast beef, and more, made pure and natural with no additives or fillers. We offer custom processing, and our experienced team works for you to provide a selection of sausage, burgers, and jerkies made to your specifications. Take your grilling to the next level with a Yoder smoker. Complete the grilling experience with Canadian-made, award-winning line of House of Q barbecue sauces. We're locally owned and operated, and we look forward to seeing you today.
Welcome back to the Canadian Brewhouse and the Tuesday Night Sports Show. It's not just a name, it is Superior Water. Superior Water has 2 locations in Lloydminster, and they're open on Sundays to make filling your big blue jugs a whole lot quicker and a whole lot easier. And if you want great tasting water right from your tap, you can call Superior Water and ask about their under-the-sink reverse osmosis systems. 780-875-6636. I drink Superior Water because I like the taste. I believe it is Superior Water. Superior Water, open on 57th Avenue, Monday to Friday, 8 to 6, Saturdays and Sundays, 10 to 5, and of course they have a coin-operated location. If you're like me and you're sitting there on a Sunday night and you realize you have no water, you can run down to Superior Water. Marcus Lam-Peters is our guest today, and you just heard from Dustin Fallscheer how much this guy is respected in the community for what he does for youth. And he's going to be hosting the Notorious Youth Football Camp coming up on May 25th, right?
Yes.
May 25th. And Marcus, we appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Well, let's talk about that camp. Do you still have spots open?
Yes, there are a lot of spots open for the older group and for the younger group. So pretty much if parents go to the website right now, which is going to be notoriousfootballcamp.eventbrite.com, yeah, they can register in there and they should be able to get in no problem.
What when you say older and younger, what are the age groups?
So there's going to be 2 age groups that we're having. It's going to be a 3-hour camp for both groups. The younger group is going to be in the morning time, starting at 9, going to 12, and that'll be ages 8 to 13. And then the older group will take a little lunch, and then they'll start at 1 o'clock, go from 1 to 4. That older group will be from 13 to 18. If you notice, I said 13 twice in there. So I have an understanding that at a certain point, experience might play a little bit of a factor, right? So some of the kids in the Lloydminster football system have been playing for a long time. So if you're 13 years old and you're like, hey, I'm pretty confident, I know what I'm doing, like I want to play up, get around guys that'll give me a little bit more competition, then by all means, go with the older group. If you're a 13-year-old kid and you're like, I haven't played that long or I've never played before and I kind of want to try it out, but I'm a little nervous, then you can play down and stay with the younger group, and it'll be a little bit easier to kind of go through that day.
You have 3 Grey Cup rings coming.
Yes.
Tell us about the talent you've got coming to help you out.
So 3 coaches, all 3 of these guys I played with in university, at Bishop's University. So the first one I'll name is Sean Gore. So my first year at Bishop's was actually my first year playing defensive back. I was playing corner. So I was the guy that had to stop the receivers. Sean Gore, he was my next door neighbor, and he was also the #1 ranked receiver in the country at the time. So I spent the entire first year playing against him, because if you're a younger guy, they wouldn't even let you dress. So you would basically have to learn the other team's defense, and then you would go out there and like rep against the starters. So I spent the entire first year getting torched by this guy, and it got to the point where I knew exactly what he was gonna run, but I still couldn't beat him. But the cool thing is, like I said, he lived next door to me. So what he would do every day after practice, I would wait for him. I would hop in his car, we would drive up the hill, and then we would stand outside his house, and he would stand there for 15, 20 minutes just telling me, hey, this is what I did to you today, and this is why I beat you, right? So I got that every single day. And then, when he finally graduated, he got drafted to the BC Lions and, went on to win a Grey Cup in his first year. But for me, that very next year, the receiver that was against me, like my first rep, I got an interception. Next rep, I deflected the ball, and everyone was like, why'd you get so much better? It's because I got to play against the best receiver in the country for that whole year. So I'm excited for him.
So he went on to play, he BC?
Yes, he played for the BC Lions, won a Grey Cup with them in, I believe, 2011, I think it was. And then enjoyed like a 7-8 year playing career, and then retired, and then ended up being a police officer in Vancouver for a while. Yeah.
Okay. So Mr. Gore is coming? Who else is coming?
Mr. Gore is coming. The second one is going to be Junior Turner. He has 2 Grey Cup rings with the Calgary Stampeders, so he's playing with Bo and everything when they were in their heyday. He's a defensive lineman. The biggest thing that I would say for him is he reminds me of discipline. He was a person where you would only see Junior at practice. You would only see Junior in the film room. You'd only see Junior walking to or from like a class on campus. As you can imagine, when you play on a sports team, there's a lot of energy around you. You're always having different distractions, whether it's going to parties or just other random things. He was the one guy that would say I would never see him at any of those things. And if you didn't know him well enough to go to his house, like you didn't see him outside of just football. But I was fortunate enough that I did know him personally, so I was able to go to his house. And even in his house, it was funny, like the guys that would be there, we'd all be in the living room. Junior would be in his room studying. Junior would be in his room watching film. And then, like I said, now he's got 2 Grey Cup rings. Yeah. So the thing that I think he's going to bring to the camp is that he's going to really talk to the kids about how to focus in and about how to really prioritize, right? At this age, sometimes, for young athletes, it's not always the easiest to stay focused when there are so many shiny objects around them. And, when you're a kid, even though you're not pro, everybody's giving you attention, so you almost feel like you've made it, like you're like you're a big dog, right? Yeah. But Junior was one guy that stayed focused until he actually hit his goal, and because of that, he was able to get there where some of us didn't get to go pro.
Yeah, and we remember him well if you're a Rough Rider fan.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so that's offense, defense.
Yes, and then the final guy is Adrian Clark. So Adrian Clark is the one guy that's actually younger than the old two. So he came the year after me. So he played linebacker, and he could play defensive line as well, but mainly linebacker. Played on the BC Lions, and then also played on the Rough Riders as well. With him, the thing that I like the most about him is like he has a confidence to him, right? So being a younger guy, usually guys come in first year and they're very timid and they don't speak up and they don't try to hop in for reps. They're trying to hop at the back of the line all the time. He was the exact opposite. Like he kind of came and he never acted like he was a big shot or anything like that, but he was like, hey, I'm going to go to the front of the line. Whoever's the best guy, whoever's the best offensive player, I want to play against that guy. You know, he just always had that confidence about him. Yep. I think that got him noted really fast, and that's one of the reasons he went so high in the draft.
So why do you want to do this? Why do you want to have a camp like this?
Well, the first reason I say is just Lloydminster. I'm not from Lloydminster originally. I was born in Toronto, and you know I've kind of moved all over the country. But since
you gotta get your phone switched over.
You got to. You know what? That's the only thing I got left from Toronto. I don't know if I'm gonna let go of that. But yeah, since I moved to Lloydminster, kind of like Dusty was saying, I got embraced in the Holy Rosary community and just the sports community in Lloyd in general, and more than anywhere else that I've lived in the country, Lloydminster is so tight knit. We were talking about this a little earlier off air, like how it is a support local. It's really serious when it comes to that here, and that made me want to kind of give back because everybody embraced me and they brought me in when I wasn't from here. And I came in at a time when there was a recession in Alberta. It was like 2015 when I came in. So the city hit a deeper, or the province hit like a really deep recession. And I originally had come here to try to strike gold on the oil field, and it didn't work out. But I got to fall back on sports, and these guys kind of took care of me, and it made me want to stick with them. Through that process, like we've been able to go to multiple championship appearances at Holy Rosary. So we have a really good program, but we don't get as much attention in Lloydminster. Not even just Holy Rosary, but just Lloydminster doesn't get as much attention when it comes to football. We love hockey here, and it'll always be like that. I don't expect it to ever change. But we have so many small towns around Lloydminster that have great athletes. So I never really understood why we don't get the attention of like an Edmonton or Saskatoon. So to me, it was like, hey, you know what? If they're not going to come to us, then I gotta find a way to get them to come to us, right? So it became a thing where I was like, hey, I have these contacts. You know, I played in university with these guys that went pro. You know, some of them are retired. Adrian, he's a free agent right now. But I spoke to them and they said, yeah, I'd be willing to do that. We said, okay, let's do it. If we can get a whole bunch of kids to come out to this and kind of show football Alberta and just the football world in general that like we're here, Lloydminster's here, and surrounding areas we're all here, and we're putting as much effort and we got a lot of talent, then hopefully more and more will get that type of attention that I think we deserve.
How do you sign up and how much is it?
So like I said, the website, the registration link is Notorious Football Camp. I always forget. NotoriousFootballCamp.eventbrite.com. It's $75 to register, and like I said, it's gonna be a one-day camp, 3 hours that you'll get.
All skill levels welcome?
Yes, all skill levels are welcome. This is not a padded camp, so I know everybody in their heads thinking, hey, football, you're gonna have your helmets on. You know, CFL guys is gonna be super tough and physical. It's not that. It's more about learning the skills. So even kids that have never played football before, they can come. All you're gonna want to bring is shorts, t-shirt, you know, your cleats, some football gloves if you can get them, and come out. Other than that, we'll do everything else. I think we're gonna be playing like flag football at the end with some of the CFL guys, so it should be pretty fun.
Is there a deadline to sign up?
The night before the camp. I'm leaving the registration link open. I gotta say this is one negative about Lloyd. You guys are last minute Lloyd. Right? So people, I've gotten a lot of inquiries and questions, and a lot of people have reacted to the posts and everything, but people tend to sign up like a week, 2 weeks before. So that's one thing I learned, like I gotta leave the registration link open all the way until the last minute and make sure we can get as many kids in as possible.
Okay. Mostly about skill though, not really about getting into well, that's what I love about football, is you can be a big guy and compete, you can be a little guy and compete. Yep. That's what I love about it. But you said you're going to focus on skill. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so. Am I forgetting to ask anything?
No, I don't think so. I do think it's really important for people to kind of understand what exactly is being offered. So just like you said, it is going to be focused more on skill. So I'm a strength and conditioning coach. So yeah, like I can have your kid and bring them to the gym and train them and try to help them gain strength, right? Or I also train speed and agility, so I can do those types of things. But we got 3 hours and we got 3 pro athletes coming here. So I don't want to spend the whole time trying to teach you how to get faster, you got 3 hours to soak in as much game about football that you can, CFL game, right? So we'll make it as a skill-based as possible. There's definitely going to be some competition because they're kids and kids love to play, so it's not going to be just instruction the whole time. We're going to have a couple games and, like I said, a flag football game towards the end, and yeah, I think everybody should enjoy it.
Gonna watch CFL draft tonight?
Oh, you got to. You never know who's going to end up in there, right? It's always really cool because you have some American guys that end up getting drafted, but then there's always the hometown talent as well. And once you see a hometown guy get drafted in, then it's like, okay, now I can kind of follow this guy and root for him and cheer for him. Most of the guys you're watching on the screen when you watch a CFL guy, they're American, right? So it's really nice when you can look and see who are the young guys coming in from the Canadian ranks and kind of follow their journey, and hopefully they become legends as well in the league.
Yeah, I know a lot of people follow Anton Ammerud, he's not at the CFL level, but playing for the Huskies.
Yes.
I think you mentioned we're a hockey town, but I asked Dustin Fallscheer, and I really feel like we're turning into a football town as well.
We're getting closer and closer, and you know what? I should mention this as well. Even though we're having CFL players there, it's not only CFL players that are coming. So I have a CJFL coach coming, so that's the Canadian Junior Football League. So that'll be the level right underneath the university, and he's going to come out and coach. Right now I have one university, like he's currently playing for the University of Saskatchewan Huskies, O-lineman Lucas Sefrin. Got to coach him at Holy when he was playing there, and he's agreed to come back as well. And yeah, I think it's going to be really cool because you're not only going to get the pros, which most people, that's a 1% kind of goal. There aren't going to be a lot of kids that are going to make that, but you have the opportunity to maybe play in the state GFL, or you have the opportunity to go to university and hopefully even get your university paid for. And I think it's a really cool opportunity for the kids to come and kind of see every option that they have. It's not just, hey, come over here and expect to go to the league. It's like, no, hey, if you want to come here, you're about to get out of high school, and you have a love for sports, but you also want to get an education. This is the route that you can kind of take too.
Marcus, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
See us again. I have a feeling you're going to do this again.
I plan on it. I plan on it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Thank you. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Bordertown High School Rodeo, which kicks off the high school rodeo circuit in Saskatchewan this weekend right here in Lloydminster.
We'd rather sell it than move it in. The moving in sale is on now at the new Lloydminster Nissan. As we get ready to move into our beautiful new building on Highway 17 South, we're moving out our incredible inventory from the big blue building on Highway 16 West. Save today on our incredible lineup of new and pre-owned vehicles all under the roof. Get special clear-on pricing on all remaining 2023 models. We're getting ready to move in, so come out and see us today for fantastic savings on your new car, truck, or SUV. The moving in sale is on now at the new Lloydminster Nissan. We won't sell you a car, we'll help you buy one.
At Lloydminster and District Co-op, membership matters more. Because being part of a co-op means you're connected to something bigger than yourself. From long-held legacy by those who built our communities, to people you call family, friends, and neighbors. When you're a Lloyd Co-op member, you're an owner in a local business that prides itself on purpose alongside profit. You earn cash back, you help support causes that matter most, and you're building a better way of life for the next generation. Membership matters more.
Welcome back to the Canadian Brewhouse. We remind you it's Taco Bout Tuesday tonight, and Leafs and Bruins are in the first intermission, tied at 1. Of course, later tonight, you got the Winnipeg Jets and the Colorado Avalanche. The late game tonight is Vancouver at Nashville. Tomorrow night, this place will really be rocking with the Oilers and the Los Angeles Kings for Game 5, and the Oilers a chance to eliminate the Kings. Wellings of Lloydminster is now offering 1 or 2 bedroom gorgeous villas for those that are 55 and over. If you haven't taken a tour yet, you should. These gorgeous 1-story villas are tax and maintenance free and are perfect for those that are looking to slow down, those that are looking for more freedom. The freedom to go away for a while and not have to worry about what is happening with the larger house. And when you want to have people over, you still have room to have people over as well, because you still have your independence. And that means having your own thermostat. It means having in-floor heating, your own air conditioning, your own appliances, of course. You're still cooking your own food, and you can have a pet if you want. You can have a garage with a workbench if you like that sort of thing. But if you haven't taken a tour yet, you really should. And it's really easy to do so. And take a look at one of these beautiful villas with their big picture windows and their high ceilings and their gorgeous backsplashes and the walk-in showers. All you have to do is call Darlene, 780-872-8537. That's Wellings of Lloydminster. Well, it is rodeo season, and we'll start at the end here. We've got Mikey Hillis at the end here joining us, and we've got Craig and Andrea Irwin joining us to talk about the Bordertown High School Rodeo, which kicks off the high school rodeo circuit in Saskatchewan this weekend. I don't know about you guys, but you guys have been planning this for a while, but it sure snuck up on me.
Yeah, it sure did.
Absolutely.
Us too, yeah.
This is the second annual.
Yes.
How did last year's go?
It went amazing. Yeah, couldn't have been happier with the weather. Everything went great. The attendance was amazing. Our community came out and supported us so well. Yeah.
How many people are coming to Lloydminster for the Bordertown High School Rodeo? Just in competitors and families and things like that.
So we have 60 junior members, so that would be grade 5 to grade 8, and 120 senior competitors. So those are the competitors. They're entered in multiple events, and most of them bring their whole family. So it's quite an influx of people that come to Lloyd for the weekend.
What separates a high school rodeo from a regular rodeo?
The age of the contestants, for sure. So we do start in junior high, so starting with grade 5 students all the way to grade 12.
What can you talk about some of the events?
We have all of the main events that you'd see at a rodeo. We've got bull riding, team roping, barrel racing, steer wrestling, bareback, breakaway roping, and then for some of the junior events, we've got shoot dogging, ribbon roping.
When I say it's this weekend, maybe you guys could be a little more specific and give us the dates and the hours.
For sure. So it's going to be Saturday, May 4th to Sunday, May 5th. It's going to start at 8 a.m. That's going to start with the junior events. The junior event's going to run probably till around, say, noon or 1, and then the high school events are going to start after. So that's your grades 9 to 12.
What did you guys learn last year putting on the first event and compared to this year to make things kind of easier?
I think every day gets a little bit smoother and faster. I mean, you can't control weather, you can't control stock, tractors coming in and out. So, I mean, even from Saturday to Sunday, things go a lot smoother. We are praying for no snow and lots of sunshine, but it is rodeo season, so you can get whatever you get.
It certainly looks like you got some pretty nice weather in the forecast.
It looks like it's really nice, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you get in? Do you need to purchase tickets ahead of time?
No, you don't purchase them ahead of time. They'll be available at the gate. So it's $10 a day or $15 for the whole weekend, and kids 12 and under are free.
Do you anticipate selling out? Like, should you get there early to get tickets? How much room do you have at the Lloyd X?
Well, we're outside of the exhibition, so really there is no limit on how many people. We were actually blown away of how many community members came to watch the rodeo last year that weren't involved in the family or the high school, just coming out to watch the rodeo events, which was actually quite amazing for us.
One thing I remember from last year is the list of sponsors that you guys have. Do you have just as many sponsors this year? Has the community really stepped up to support you?
It is amazing, our sponsorship, for sure. I feel like Lloydminster really likes the rodeo, and everyone was happy to help out.
Who are some of your major sponsors?
So this year, our platinum sponsors are Noglin Bros and Brighton Trucking. And then we've also had some generous donations. We do contestant bags for the kids, so we give them some goodies. And we've had donations from the Lloydminster Co-op, from Lecking Associates, Willow Creek and Collectibles, Chrome Diesel. And then we also just want to give a shout out to all of our sponsors last year, because without them, this year's rodeo wouldn't happen.
How about prizes? What's up for grabs here?
The main prize actually of high school rodeo is college scholarships. So this is the big difference between a professional or semi-professional rodeo and high school rodeo, is that we have high school kids. So that would be their goal, is in their grade 12 year to get college scholarships. We do have some smaller prizes for event winners and that kind of thing, but that is the main goal of high school rodeo.
Okay, what's it like having kids compete in a rodeo? Because I know that you guys have an injury in your house. So, so how stressful is it watching the kids compete?
Well, I have 2 bull riders, so the stress level is up here.
The stress. Yeah. No, it is stressful. Yeah, my oldest son is out just off a shoulder surgery, so he's going to be off till the fall. But yeah, no, it is stressful, but they know what they're doing. They practice, and we trust that they're going to be okay, and that's why we have ambulances on site, so if anything does happen, they're well taken care of.
How well was the rodeo? Oh, sorry.
I'll just say there's lots of stress, but there's lots of pride. These kids work really hard to get themselves ready for these kinds of events and all the things that they do and they compete in, and so it's neat to see their work come to fruition for them. So.
Well, I was thinking it might be a really dumb question, because I bet if you have a 35-year-old competing, a mother is still feeling the same exact way.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I feel that I will, yeah.
Yeah. How well was the rodeo received last year in the community?
Amazing. Yeah. Amazing. We had people come out that I don't think really had any ties to rodeo, aside from maybe friends they knew at school, that kind of stuff, and I had to give them a reason to come out. And any feedback we got was fantastic. Everybody really enjoyed the event. So, and talking to the exhibition had tons of great feedback. Everybody really enjoyed the event. Very well attended. So.
Yeah, the exhibition let us know that they had people stop in who just saw a bunch of trailers and wondered what was going on and stopped in to check it out. So, yeah.
That's the kind of community we have.
Yeah.
Hey, there's horse trailers there.
Yeah.
What could possibly be going on over there?
Yeah, I talked to an elderly couple last year they grew up, farmed in Hillmont their whole life, live in Calgary. They just wanted to come see the horses, right? Like, that's what they grew up with. They haven't been to Lloyd. They knew that I was coming. They came specifically just to be around the horses and the kids. So, it was great to see.
You might answer this already, but I'm having a little hard time hearing you. Concession on site?
Yes.
Yeah, the exhibition is going to bring their outdoor concession booth outside, so it's easy to get all your snacks and drinks and coffee.
Yeah. So anything I'm forgetting to ask you guys about the high school rodeo that you want people to know? $10.
Yeah. $15 for the weekend.
It's good entertainment. It's really neat to watch these kids do their thing. They're competing in the events that adults compete in, and they're doing a hell of a job. So
this really is the start of a lot of these kids' rodeo careers. So if you look at a long list of professional bull riders, PBR world champions, they started in high school rodeo. So they're starting on smaller stock, and this is, I guess, where the dreams start, right? There's a long list of people. This is where they started Saskatchewan high school rodeo.
Is that why it's so important to have a rodeo
100%,
here in Lloyd?
100%. So these young kids are getting on stock that's appropriate for them. They're building their way up into, that's their goal.
Yeah. This has always been a Western town, hasn't it?
It really has,
Like when you say Western heritage, I think you look at Lloydminster, and rodeo is definitely part of that.
Yeah,
and not having a big rodeo here, you think even more people would come out.
Yeah.
Do you hope this kind of leads to having a major rodeo here?
That would be amazing, yeah. And we've heard that feedback of it's so nice to have a rodeo back in Lloydminster.
Yeah, it really is. I remember when
CCA finals,
and the boys are back in town. Used to play on the radio all the time, right?
Yeah.
Like that, and then there'd be a big rodeo dance and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd love to get back to that.
Yeah.
Am I forgetting anything?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Well, I appreciate you guys, especially because we were running a little later, so I really appreciate you waiting for me. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Opportunity to get our event out there. So
Awesome. Thank you. We're gonna wrap things up. We got the Oilers and we got the Kings tomorrow night. It's Talk About Tuesday. We're back with you tomorrow. We're going to be talking about Red Dress Day, and we're going to be talking to the Lloydminster Motor Club about an event at the new Lloydminster Nissan. That comes your way from the Lloydminster Exhibition. We'll be back at the Lloydminster Exhibition tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And then on Thursday, Mayor Albers is going to be our guest, and we're going to have a big catch-up with him. And if you haven't nominated a farmer yet for Feed the Farmer, we remind you to do that on the Live with Kurt Price Facebook page as soon as possible, or visit one of our participating sponsor pages, Diamond 7 Meats, Sobeys, The Tent Guys, BASF, Superior Water. They're all sponsors. Eggland is another great sponsor of ours, so we really appreciate that. Our first meal is coming up on February the 9th, so get those nominations in, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow morning.